If you had plans to buy an R6 Mark III to shoot video with, this might be a better choice, as well as a better deal. The R6V is what you get when you build a vlog camera around one of Canon's most capable full-frame sensors. And when it comes to image capture, the R6V shares more similarities than differences with the R6 Mark III and even the C50. That alone already makes this new camera, which we've barely just met, incredibly promising. If you're expecting some capabilities to be locked away because this is aimed at a more light-hearted side of filmmaking, well, not really. Everything's here. 7K open gate, internal RAW up to 7K 60p, 4K 120p with no crop. It's genuine insanity to see those figures on a vlog camera. If those specs sound a bit familiar, that's because they're exactly what we saw and loved on the C50 and R6 Mark III. That's now inherited in its unredacted entirety here on the relatively junior but worthy R6V. Just a quick disclaimer that the footage you've seen was captured on this pre-production unit, but there is no question that Canon released this as a video-focused camera. The absence of a mechanical shutter on this is almost as if to make that point abundantly clear, though a stills mode still exists on the R6V, so if you ever need it, 32.5 megapixel photos, electronic shutter. That aside, everything else about the hardware on the R6V is made for video. We've got vents on the body for active cooling, which you'll find to be a very reassuring feature if you're at a warm location rolling 7K RAW video at high frame rates. There's also some degree of control over the fan's behavior, so you can manage that balance between cooling and silence. In addition to the 1/4-inch tripod mount on the base of the camera, having an extra one on the side is a massive win for convenience on the R6V. This camera is obviously designed around creating for socials as a key pillar, so the ability to just pop this vertically on a tripod is, in my opinion, a more important feature than it sounds. Because otherwise, the rigging solution for mounting a camera vertically is the L bracket. The trouble of tinkering with this is one thing, but it sometimes straight up doesn't work if, say, you're trying to balance the camera plus an L bracket on a gimbal. In that case, the simple convenience of a native vertical mount can really save you a lot of trouble. Canon's also gone all the way by having a fully vertical UI when the R6V is on its side. Another unmistakably video bit of hardware is the zoom rocker at the tip of your grip. This actually ties in perfectly with this new lens that's being introduced alongside the R6V. It's an L-series power zoom lens, a 20 to 50mm F4 IS, with perhaps the most innovative zoom ring design for a power zoom lens. It is zoom by wire because it's a power zoom, but turn it past its hard stop range on the wide end by releasing a locking tab, and it's now this self-centering rocker for zooming in and out with. One zoom ring, two modes of operation. But additionally on the camera, because the R6V has a zoom rocker, you also have the option of zooming the lens without even touching the zoom ring. Full-sized HDMI ports should come as a great piece of news to any filmmaker. That's safely here on the R6V. LPE6P battery. We also get dual card slots, a CF Express Type B, and a good old SD. For internal RAW recording, that would have to go onto the CF Express slot, but if you're doing any of the other codecs, it is possible to get by just using SD cards. Another interesting hardware feature on the R6V that's not on the R6 III is the way these directional buttons on the rear dial here can each be assigned as a custom function button. Again, a seemingly minor thing, but this actually amounts to the R6V having more assignable buttons in total compared to the R6 Mark III. And just like the R6 Mark III, the R6V does have IBIS. This is a pretty big deal because video-focused cameras from Canon don't typically come with IBIS. The R50V didn't have it, and every cinema EOS model, including the C50, has not been made with IBIS. For me, in-body image stabilization is a feature I struggle without. I guess that's more so for a vlogging use case where there's gonna be a lot of casual handheld shooting. I think Canon's well aware of that with the R6V, especially if you pair it with this new 20-50 lens, which is an IS lens. And in this case, the stabilization stacks really well, in fact. It's hard to describe just how stable this combo is through words, but the sensor working in tandem with the lens IS, you get this rock-solid frame even before any amount of digital intervention. This compounds onto all the other helpful features introduced previously, like false color monitoring, and that nice quick video settings menu which works conveniently great with the touchscreen. Price-wise, I do not have it yet as of taping this ahead of announcements, but if it's anything like the R50 and R50V, then the R6V should come in at a meaningfully lower price than the R6 Mark III, which is already priced below the C50. So this 6V is looking to be an incredible deal of a 7K RAW open-gate video camera, especially if you've been eyeing the C50, but that's a bit more than what you were hoping to sign up for. That being said, if still photos are still an important part of your work, then the R6 Mark III is still the more balanced hybrid camera to consider. But if it's just videos you need, why not the R6V?